Hey, how's it doing?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm okay.
Thanks for calling me back.
Not a problem.
So, I was talking to George yesterday,
Uh huh.
and he indicated you may be interested in helping us on this panel.
Yeah, yes. Well, as far as I know, I thought I was already on the panel.
Yeah, so I think there's several conversations, and we're just trying to bring them all together.
Okay, no problem.
Could you tell me a little bit about your work in Louisiana? I'm kind of moderating. It's going to be kind of a fireside chat, but
Okay.
the better we'll structure everything.
Sure. So I have been working at an FQHC for 8 years now, since 2016. I have been working at Walgreens for 15 years. Prior to that, um, I started out as the sole pharmacist here at Priority Healthcare. We have an in-house pharmacy. We're a 340B entity. Um, I, I'm trying to think when I first got accredited through American Academy of HIV. This is my second time around. Kenya, when did we did that, what, 22? So it must have been either 18 or 19. I think 19 was when I first did the accreditation. Um, And since then, I'm now director of pharmacy, so I oversee both of our in-house pharmacies that we have. And as of December of 23, I was put in charge of our outreach and prevention, covering our HIV, STD testing that we do in the community and in-house as well through the EHE program through our state. We have a city grant, and we also have another grant with CDC as well too. So,
And how is that going?
it's a lot. It is very much so a lot. It's going good. We recently had some staff turnover in the outreach department, so I'm starting from scratch with that. But we had just kind of got ourselves back out in the community because we had pretty much stopped testing because we started with new employees, and when I took over, so we had to go out and find new employees and reestablish some of those contacts businesses that we were doing testing at, like for back to school events and bars and clubs and different things like that. So,
And how would you gauge your reception from the community? Are they excited about the work you do? Are they nervous about the work you do? Or how would you gauge it?
I would say two things: nervous and ill-informed. A lot of the people don't realize that living in the South itself is a risk factor for STDs in general, not even really just HIV, but in here in New Orleans and in this area, syphilis and gonorrhea and chlamydia are on the rise. Not that they were ever extremely low here, but they've gotten higher apparently. So the New Orleans and state health department have done a social media push to kind of let people know that they need to be tested. But a lot of people, especially in the African American community, just feel like I'm not gay, or I'm not using drugs, or I'm not promiscuous, on all of the stereotypes that you used to hear about people that were getting HIV. They're not that. And I'm like, well, the good news is it doesn't affect people that do just that. It affects everybody. If you live and breathe, it can affect you. So it's a lot of misinformation, especially, with social media and things like that. But I mean, I'm not going to say we struggle. We incentivize our testing. The CDC has allowed us to have monies to incentivize the testing. So we do $20 gift cards or $10 gift cards to, depending on where we go. Like if there's a Chick-fil-A near your establishment, then I'm going to get gift cards catered towards whatever might entice people to get tested. For instance, Xavier University here in New Orleans has a Chick-fil-A on site. So when we go to do testing at Xavier, we will get Chick-fil-A gift cards because the students, would be more inclined to get tested if they have something that they can utilize without even having to drive a Chick-fil-A anywhere. They're going to give me a Chick-fil-A gift card. If I get tested, I'm going to go get tested. So.
And how does the word get out that you're doing that kind of promotion? Do you have signs? Do you have social media that says, hey, we're doing testing, we've got gift cards, come check us out? What is
So
that like?
We just partnered with a company called Eris Marketing. They're going to kind of take over our social media marketing and do all of that. Prior to that, we had one person in-house, not really that well versed with social media and marketing and things. Well, the marketing side, yes, because that's what they do. They're a marketing director. But the social media side, they weren't really too well versed. So we would kind of, help out where we could. But it wasn't a big push like it should have been. I think now, given that we have a company just dedicated to just that, we'll see a bigger push. But just having different events. So like even if we have a back to school event, we'll bring, stuff catered towards, prevention and pamphlets that talk about STD testing and things like that. But we'll also offer testing at these events. So any event that we do as far as outreach goes, we let people know that testing is something that we do.
Thank you so much. What do you attribute all the misconceptions and misinformation, and you also mentioned the South plays a role in some of this. How do you work against, or how do you battle or equip patients to respond or think differently as it relates to that?
Well, it's a double-edged sword. So we're in the South. We're in what one of my previous coworkers used to call, we're in the Bible Belt. So, talking about sex, talking about HIV is still stigmatized, taboo, hush, hush. Hey, don't mention that because, you yell in a movie theater, fire, and everybody stops and like, oh, wait. But you yell at a crowded bar, HIV, and everybody stops and looks at you like, oh my God, what did you just say? Like as if you cursed somebody out. So I think dealing with stigma is probably the biggest and hardest part. And overcoming that is just providing that information. Like when we go out and do testing, we try to either use it on our phone or bring our some mobile device, whether it's a tablet, or iPad, or whatever, and we'll pull up like AgeView and just show people. Because a lot of times, you can say all these fancy words. You can say you need to get tested. You can yell out stats. But if I just show you a map and say, hey, look, if you live in a dark area, you're at risk. And then they see their zip code and they're like, wow, I didn't realize it was that densely populated with people who are HIV positive. So I think just simplifying the verbiage and simplifying what we're showing them is the thing, because everybody thinks it's not me. But I think the biggest thing is just being afraid, because a lot of people, I'm in a committed relationship. I've been married for X amount of years. Well, when's the last time you had a test? Oh, well, we don't get tested. Well, you should. And it's hard. That's a delicate balance, because you don't want to incite a riot and accuse somebody's spouse or partner of infidelity or, stepping out on them. But it's like, why not both of you all get tested so both of you all can know, hey, look, we're both, STD-free, HIV-free, whatever it may be. And it's just trying to convince them. But once you do have that talk, you can see the fear in, right? It's just the fear. It's the fear of the unknown. I've never been tested before, and I'm going to think of every sketchy thing I've done in my life for the past 20, 30 years, or however old they are, So I think it's fear of knowing or not knowing, and stigma. Those are the two hardest things we kind of suffer with right now.
Can you talk a little bit about the role of pharmacists in this work in Louisiana, whether you want to talk about policies or legislation or dealing with the community? How do you think the role of pharmacists particularly has changed or been important in the work that you do?
Well, I can tell you this. I actually went to Baton Rouge a few times to lobby for this bill, which used to be House Bill 579, which is Act 711, I believe it's called now. And that if you would have told me in pharmacy school that I would have been out doing that, I would have been like, whatever, you're full of stuff. So it was a different scope of practice, I guess you could say, actually lobbying and pushing for something that is going to benefit my expertise and my craft. I think we have the knowledge. I think we have the know-how. It's just a matter of us being able to convince the people that are for us having this access and the people that are against us having this access that, hey, we can do it. We just have to come up with a organized way to do so, with proper protocols and regulation and so on and so forth. So, but I think we can do it, though.
What do you think was the motivation? You said if someone had told you that you would have been in that role, you wouldn't have believed them. So what was it that happened that got you there?
Just a chance to do something different. I'm always looking to do other things and get outside of the box of quote unquote just being a pharmacist. When we were in pharmacy school, there was always the phrase pour, lick, and stick. And that was essentially what people know pharmacists to do. They prepare medication, they put medication in a bottle, they sell prescriptions, and that's it. Now we're at a time where, in some states, like, I call California the cowboys of the United States, because they everything new that's tried out normally starts in California and works its way, to the east. So being able to be, I guess, a cowboy in my own state, and have a hand in a groundbreaking rule, which would essentially give pharmacists provider status. I jumped on that as soon as I could.
And how did you hear about that? Was it someone, or was it a colleague?
So someone from LPCA, the Louisiana Primary Care Association, reached out to my CEO. And then she asked me if I was, what did I know about it, or was I interested? And I was like, sure, I'll take a look at this. And, so, and all of the FQHC, the Federally Qualified Health Centers, not all, but the LPCA is the governing body that kind of lobbies for bills in favor of us or tries to protect us. The first one we had was a bill about 340B and the manufacturers trying to take away some of the rebates that we get or the monies that we get, or regulate the monies that we get in the 340B program. And that's how it actually started. They asked me that I want to, be a part and go speak up on behalf of, 340B pharmacies and in-house pharmacies and things like that. And then the representative, Reagan Carter for LPCA reached out to me when she's like, well, I need your help with this because, I don't know too much about, pharmacists and prep and this, that, and the other. And, so I was her, I guess you can say, expertise in the bottle, if you will. So that's really, now that I think about it, that's how I got started. Initially, she reached out for a bill for pharmacy for 340B. And then it became, when this came about, she was like, you're the first person I was going to call because, you helped out so much with the other legislation that they got blocked. We were able to stop that bill from going into play.
If you had the ability, or if someone had told you that would have happened, was there anything about your education that you would have changed or would have wanted to get a heads up about in order for you to kind of prepare to see those opportunities? Do you know?
No, because honestly, that probably wouldn't have been on my radar coming out of school or even then. I just looked at it as, an opportunity to not fend, but to defend the organization and the field of pharmacy that I'm in now, which is not your typical retail, but more of a hybrid of clinical and retail, because we get, firsthand hands-on with the patients here. We get to make some clinical decisions about therapies and whether or not to continue or discontinue therapies here, whereas at a Walgreens, educationally we can do it, but we didn't have the access. Like, my nurse practitioner, my chief clinical officer, who's my supervisor, she's a nurse practitioner. She's right on the other side of the wall of the pharmacy. So if I need to access her, I can text her, I can go knock on a door. If I'm at a Walgreens or some other big box chain, even an independent pharmacy that's not attached to a clinic, I don't have that access. So the continuity of care is much better in a situation of like we're in, where the pharmacy is in literally the same building as the clinic.
I love that. George was talking about that yesterday. It's almost like state of the art in a certain way. and it sounds like you're able to really respond to all the different needs of your community because of the way you're set up. I love that.
Yeah, and it ironically, I don't know your faith, but I told my CEO, I said, now God does funny things. I said, now I was just being a regular pharmacist, and I was content with that. Y'all asked me that I want to take over our prevention, which does STD testing, and then look, Louisiana's trying to pass a bill for pharmacists to do PrEP and PEP, which would embody what I do now with the prevention department. Like everything that the antagonists of the bill we're talking about, I'm like, oh, we do that right here. Yep, solved. Your problem is solved. Just let us do it. But I didn't realize that only Baton Rouge Parish and Orleans Parish have access to those funds. Because the EHE grant is based off of your prevalence of HIV in certain zip codes. So then that's another thing I was talking to the state health department about. How would these other rural area pharmacies get access to maybe testing so that they're not coming out of the pocket for it and hoping that somebody gets tested so that they can then bill for those services and recoup that money. Whereas we get everything for free. We literally get bandages, gauze, you name it. We literally get everything except for the man/woman power for free through this grant. So it's perfect for it. Now, if great state of Louisiana would just expand it to everybody, all of the affected, zip codes, everything would be gravy. There would be so much less stuff we'd have to worry about.
I'm really excited about this panel. This is going to be absolutely amazing. I'm thinking it may be better for George to speak first and then you to follow him.
Okay.
Did you see the outline that I sent yesterday? If not, I can send it to you now.
Now, is this Sam or is this Chauncey?
This is Chauncey.
Oh, okay. Because I is that you talking about for the talk tomorrow?
No. This is for USCHA Friday the.
Oh, okay.
Friday the 13th.
Gotcha. Oh, so you want us to speak at US?
Yeah, see, that's why I wasn't sure when we started off. He was like, "Oh, I think we're already speaking." I was like, "Well, yeah, there's an idea. I'm the one that's kind of moderating it, and so yeah, I guess the conversations have kind of spun from one into the other. So yeah, this is USCHA. This is the Academy's Institute on Sexual Health, and we want to feature Louisiana in our conversation." And I sent an email that has kind of the flow, but I didn't realize we had both you and George, so we're going to give you guys more time. We're thinking about 20 minutes between the two of you.
Okay.
And then open it up for questions. I have a feeling most of the questions are going to flow toward both of you as it relates to what's happening in Louisiana, particularly around this legislation and the authority. But we don't know exactly what audience is going to say, but I would love to, be in the best position. So should I send you the email again that has that outline of the flow? Or?
No, I just need to look at it, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah, if you send it to me, it's in my inbox, I just haven't looked at it.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I'm on vacation this week, so I'm catching up on a lot of emails and reading and all kinds of stuff. So.
Okay, awesome. Well, so what I'll do, I'll also include the information, a brief sketch of the information that we've talked about to make sure all of the speakers kind of know what each other is saying. And then I should send that out by week's end. Thank you so much for your time.
Not a problem. Yeah, at first when you said panel, I was like, well, is he talking about tomorrow or is he talking about something else?
Oh, yeah. This is for Friday the 13th.
Okay, and we had already, we're going to be, me and my team, hopefully I'll have some more people added to the roster by then. But yeah, we're supposed to planning on being at the conference, so.
That's awesome. Well, I will. I'll send you an updated email, and I'll look forward to meeting you in New Orleans.
Absolutely. All right. When do you come in?
I'm coming in on the 9th. I'm coming in early, so I'll be here all week.
Okay. All right. No problem.
Oh, and George and I are supposed to be getting coffee, so hopefully you can join us too.
I saw y'all said that. I didn't see the date. But okay.
Yeah, we haven't picked a date yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
All right. Take care. Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right.
Bye-bye.